Hello, welcome to Active Bryant Fitness Systems. Thank you for clicking on the video. I'm Scott Bryant, and this video is all about 18 books you must read about bodybuilding, weightlifting, strength training, and about how to enhance your physique. And the books I've really enjoyed that really give me some more insight in which to help friends, clients, and including myself. I've read over 1,000 books, but these 17 I got a lot from. There's more that I got a lot from, which I'll do another video on. But the first book is called The Mind-Gut Connection. Now, out of this book, you learn that the gut biome is so important, that if your gut biome is messed up, your brain is messed up. So if you're suffering with schizophrenia, depression, mood issues, and can't drop body weight, the book enables you to see the insight to why that may be. Really good book, really easy to read. So the next book is called Ultimate Arm Guide by strength coach Charles Poliquin. So Charles Poliquin passed away a few years ago, but he had huge arms and he marketed himself as an amazing coach, worked with over 250 athletes in 200 different sports, and won multiple gold medals for his clients and athletes. The next book is quite old now, but I still refer to it, which is called How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy. And the good thing about How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy, it's all about structurally, mentally and emotionally rebalancing your whole body and your whole life. It doesn't just look at hypertrophy, it looks at how to correct your posture, how to correct your chakras in the body, as well as cleaning your gut up, as well as giving you great information on diet and lifestyle in which to get super lean and super massive. So the next book, which a great friend of mine gave me, is called Charles Poliquin's Principles. And there's Charles on the back. So you can see he had big arms. That's a really old photo of him. But in this book, there's some real golden nuggets on how to train the calf muscles. If you look at a lot of black people, they have really small calf muscles, but they have big upper bodies. And then if you look at runners, will have small calf muscles. And the only reason why that is because they're training the calf muscle wrong. The calf muscle needs to be trained in all different angles, and the repetition zone needs to be 20 to 25 reps for 5 or 6 sets to get growth in an endurance muscle. Remember, the quads and the hamstring, the hamstrings is speed and power muscle, the quads are an endurance muscle, and the calves are an endurance muscle. So Charles separates everything and makes you understand how to train certain body parts in which to gain more muscle size. The next one is one of the first books I ever bought, which was Ian King's Get Buffed. And there's lots of little secrets in here about diet, lifestyle, enhancing muscle mass, the things that you can take and do. So he's an Australian author and coach as well. The next one is Pavlo, Russian Kettlebell Challenge. Now, the only thing with kettlebell training is that a lot of people do too high endurance in kettlebell training, in my opinion. And 90% of people that do kettlebell training end up with a discal issue because they're not engaging their core fully or breathing properly in the right way. And if you look at lots of gym idiots on Instagram and YouTube, Facebook and all these social media, you'll see guys doing a 1 rep maximum and then collapsing on the floor. And that's because they're doing a bracing method, which is not a good way of breathing. Whereas I've been taught diaphragmatically breathing and letting the breath out at the top in a way of keeping everything balanced so you don't end up getting that where you're doing a maximal lift and you're collapsing on the floor. Then another great book that Charles brought out was Modern Trends in Strength Training. It's sad that he's gone, but they have released some more material of his as well, which I'm going to go through as we're talking along. So in this book, successful methods for training for strength and mass. And Charles was the guy that put out there that tempo training is really important. Then Paul talks about eccentric training is really good for getting stronger. But if you do eccentric training and you've not got a training age of 5 years, you will tear and injure muscle. So it's really important for you not to do eccentric training unless you've been in the gym constantly for longer than 5 years. One of the books I read in my 20s, and I've still got the book, is called The Insider Encyclopedia on How to Build Muscle and Might Beyond Brawn by Stuart McRabbit. So this is an excellent, excellent book. It taught me how to go all out as heavy as I possibly could and to eat huge amounts of food if I wanted to gain muscle. And I was 11 stone. I'm now just under 16 with 18-inch arms. So this book really worked for me, and I highly recommend it if you're new to training. So the next one, because I train females and males, a friend told me about this book, Female Olympic Weightlifters. It tells you about their menstrual cycles and how a woman can be much stronger when they're on a period compared to when they're not on a period, and why women migrate to more carbohydrate foods after training than rather protein supplements or powders or protein food. But in it, it talks about program design for a female athlete. So really good information in that book again. So another book that came out, I think last year or a year before, Harlequin's Principles. Really good book again. Some great information about program design and supplementation again. So he was the genius talking about 20 grams minimum of BCAAs to get optimum growth. And if you get the high amount of BCAAs, you can put on 12 pounds of muscle as well as your 7 pounds added to that over a year's period. So another really good book. So the next book is The Strength Sensei, which is Strength Sensei Essential Ideas on Increasing Strength and Building Muscle Mass again. But in this book, he goes much, much deeper into hamstring curling and 1 rep maximum training and other methods in the book as well. Now, this book was really, really good. That came out at the same time, which is all about Ultimate Guide for Squatting. And in this book, if you look at Olympic weightlifters, they all squat their ass to the grass. That means going all the way down. Now, when you see weekend warriors or people that are uneducated or whatever, they'll do a parallel squat, which means they're not really fully using the knee, the hamstring, and the calf muscle and the glutes. So that means they'll have a weakness in that area. So when they go running or doing other sports like football, this is when they'll get a cruciate ligament issue, a knee issue, a hamstring issue, because they're not using full range of movement. And this is an argument in bodybuilding. You'll see them doing half reps on the chest, half reps on the arm, just to pump the muscle up, to make the muscle bigger. But scientifically, they've found that when you do full range of movement, the less chance you have of injury. And every client that I get that's got an injury, it's normally because they don't do full range of movement in their exercise program, or they don't even have an exercise program, which is fucking unbelievable when you're working on the human body. The next book that Charles brought out is quite old as well, really hard to get hold of. Many weight loss diets for men who hate aerobics, dance, carrots, stick diets. Finally, a weight training program that melts the fat and spares the muscle. So Charles was a great believer, and Paul Check as well, and me as well, a great believer in no cardio. The reason being is that if you're doing too much cardio, it will be detrimental to your mass and strength gains. The cardiovascular system and the strength system do not work independently, they work together. So would you want to waste 4 hours a week on a treadmill for VO2 max, or 5 hours a week on a treadmill for VO2 max training, when in this book, this guy talks about smarter but not harder, by Dave Asprey. He recommended me that book, his own book to me online. And in that book, he educates you that you only need to do 5 minutes of VO2 max training to get the VO2 max benefits. Does that make sense? And I found that to work with clients as their blood pressure drops and their heart rate improves. Say they've got a resting heart rate of 75 beats or 65 beats a minute. When you bring it down, they're getting healthier and fitter. So that's one way that you can tell, obviously, with body fat dropping as well. The next book is The Sport for Olympic Weightlifting. So that's quite in depth. If you don't know program design, you'll probably find that book by Cole Miller. You'll probably find that too in depth and not understand it fully. The next brilliant book, I love this book, and it's called the German Body Comp Program, Burn Fat, Build Muscle with Weights Only, programs that use weights training for weight loss. Absolutely brilliant book. I remember when I first bought it, and when I first bought it, I didn't read it properly for 2 or 3 years. It stayed in my bookshelf, and I kept going, I'm going to read it, I'm going to read it. And then during the pandemic, because I lost so much size, because I wasn't well, I decided to read the book to see how many secrets there was in the book to enable me to gain my size back. And that's how I got back up to 15 stone. So that book is a gem. So the next gem, which is recommended by Parlequin in one of his videos, is called Grow Young with GHG. So HGH, sorry. So with that book, absolutely amazing. It recommends L-glutamine. It makes you understand that the muscles that are lost in the body in an aging man or woman is the glutes, the hamstrings, the quads and the belly. So that's why as you age, you should have a six-pack. Otherwise, you're going to have a big Budweiser tumour, which looks horrible. Then the next thing I had to read this for my Czech level 3, which was called The Mechanics of Sport. So this is a good book, which enables you to understand muscle and movement during sport. So you know specifically for what sport, what muscle you need to strengthen in which to get the sports performance up. The next book is called The Mineral Flex, Energy, Longevity and Immunity, Sleep and More by Dr. James, whatever his name is. There you go. So my good mate in Southampton sent that to me as a present, and what we do every couple of months, we send each other a book and then we get on the phone and talk about it. I just sent him a book about cleansing the liver, so because it's his birthday today, and so I sent him that book for him to read, and he always sends me powerlifting and strength training books. And the final book, the 18th book, is my book, Holistic Health for Proper Geezers, Classy Ladies, Get the Body and Fitness You Want Now. If you purchase my book and you can tell me what the code is in the back, I will design you a program after chatting to you for 20 minutes or whatever, which you could use in the gym to gain whatever you want. And my programs, I charge £135. So you're getting £135 for nothing, but all you got to do is buy my book for £6. Give me an honest review, and then I will design your program and give you some of my time for free, where we can talk about where you may not be gaining in your training program. So there's a rundown of the books that I've really enjoyed. I've got loads of others, but these are the main ones for strengthening and conditioning that could help you improve, even if you just bought one of these books, okay? So I've just been watching The Dark Side Behind the Mike Mensa documentary, and he was a drug addict. His brother died in his 40s and he died in his 40s. He won the Mr. Olympia so many, I think it's 6 or 7 years in a row, like Arnold did. And him and Arnold hated each other. Now, the thing with the Mike Mensa thing is that they keep advertising it on, you know, Instagram and all that. But unless you're a steroid bodybuilder, it won't work for you. Doing one set to failure will not work for somebody that's got a training age of 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 years. And what I mean by training age, the longer you've been training for, the longer your training age is. So mine is like 32. I've been training for 32 years. So that means in the Harlequin stuff that I've read, I need to change my workout program every 2 weeks. If I don't, my body stops responding and getting the results that I want to get. Does that make sense? And the same with my clients. I'll ask them, you get this much paperwork to fill out before we start together. And I'll ask them, what is your training age? Have you got any programs? And 90.9% of them don't even have a program that they've been sticking to from their trainer that they've had before, or the physio program has got too many exercises in, because most physios go to university to get the physio qualification that takes 3 years, but a lot of them don't train themselves, or don't train for size, or don't train for speed and power. So they don't understand it in depthly what needs to be done. Whereas I've trained clients for tennis, for golf, for skiing, and always improve everything, and bodybuilding as well. So it isn't a problem. But these books have got some golden nuggets in, so you must buy these books. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and like and press the bell icon for regular updates. I've just done a video on about steroids in the fitness industry. Then I've done another one about should you really take steroids. When you can gain up to nearly 20 pounds of muscle a year with the right training, with the right diet, why would you need to take anything that's just going to speed it up, give you stretch marks, give you bitch tits, damage your liver and cause health problems? Does that make sense? So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I'll post another video in the next couple of days. Please comment down below if there's a subject you'd like me to cover in the video to do with health, fitness, training, mental, emotional, getting size, getting smaller, or whatever it is that your goal is. Thanks very much. 18 inches. See you again. Bye.